Before we go any further, this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast is brought to you by Warrior Injury Law.
Injured? Call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
So before you started the business, what was like the final impetus to make you, I want to do this. I want to open my own shop. You know, because it's a leap of faith being an entrepreneur.
It is.
And then you have a full-time job, being a mom and everything you said.
Yeah.
What was it that made you say, I want to do this?
So I've been in property management for probably 8 years.
Okay.
And, you know, you make money for a huge corporation or private landlord. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. I do. I just want something for myself.
Right.
I got my eyebrows microbladed probably 6 years ago. And the gal that did it for me, I was just so impressed. She was a medical student, and that was her job. Like, that was her hustle, like making money doing brow services for folks while she was a student. And every time I would come see her, I'd ask questions to learn more about it. Like, how did you get started? Like, where do you go? Is it like a school?
Right. So little by little. Right?
Yeah. And so she just kind of kept talking me into it. And, flash forward 6 years later, I reached out to her and said, hey, I'm ready. Where do I go? And she goes, well, I did a course online, but I have a friend that offers a whole education course. She's in Renton, but it's a 5-day course, hands-on, and then you have that mentorship, even long after that education. But just having a schedule to work for around my own lifestyle and being that toddler mom and dog mom and having, that extra time. I'm really impressed with this co-owner because she has amassed such a clientele that she only works Wednesdays to Fridays.
Oh.
So that would be the dream, to have, you're selling your service, and realistically you could take like 2 to 3 clients a day and make, more than what I was making at my current job. So
building up that client base and clientele, right?
My goal is just to, make at least even with what I currently make at my property management job and work towards leaving, and doing this. I decided to start 2 businesses at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I also do permanent jewelry.
Oh, wow.
So you use like a smaller scale welding machine to weld the little
I've seen that at like some of the farmers markets. Actually, my daughter had like a bracelet or a ring done.
They don't tarnish, they don't get blue or green. Like, they're using high quality metals, and it's just the tiny little clasp ring that you would kind of weld onto there. These ones are all, I don't want to take them off. I don't want them to tangle, but I decided to start both at the same time.
Okay.
So with all of the fields in beauty, what made you go with brows?
I actually
Good question, Joe.
I'm a man. I don't know.
I mean,
you're a man.
It's not just for women.
I mean, I get
their
that,
brows done too. Like, say you have an unsightly scar, or you have alopecia, or
alopecia.
vitiligo, like where your skin pigment is different. You're adding symmetry. You're not like going for this bold kind of crazy look, especially for men. Or maybe
for that, it's just balance.
Yeah, exactly. And you might just be, maybe there's a blonde-haired person that it's barely there, so you're just adding
texture or whatever.
You're looking at their skin and kind of what tone of their skin is to come up with a color that's not gonna like fade into something crazy. Or my late grandmother had a stroke 1,000,000 years ago, and she had her makeup permanently tattooed. It's come such a long way since then. Her makeup was very blue, and like, when you go like those darker colors, especially, over 40 years ago when permanent makeup first, the fade over process as she's gotten older, just kind of turned blue and very like opaque color. And you're like, ooh. So it's just come such a long way. And so that was kind of something that I wish she was still alive so I could do it better.
Marketing matters. Growth matters more. This episode is powered by our sponsor, Fuse Networks.
Cybercriminals deploy millions of phishing schemes daily, and that number is only on the rise. Can your employees spot more modern, sophisticated phishing schemes? Strengthen your front line of defense by implementing cybersecurity awareness training and help reduce the risk of a data breach occurring. Call Fuse Networks, your local Seattle IT experts, at 206-701-6040 and get ahead of the curve.
I want to put you on the spot. So
Okay.
we're talking, a lot of times we do these podcasts and we always try to find opportunities for who to connect businesses with. A lot of times when we talk to businesses, would you like to work well with and everything? We want to manifest something now. So who would be businesses that you think you'd be good referral partners with? Or what other businesses you think would work well? Because you mentioned like the alopecia thing, so I would think like some dermatologists or whatever skin people, like maybe
dermatologists.
So talk to me more. Let's brainstorm some ideas that when people watch this, like, oh, I'd like to network with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dermatologist would definitely be a great one.
And I don't know. That's why I'm asking. It's intriguing to me to kind of discover.
I mean, because I would think like the normal, all right, you're in a salon hairstylist, but they may not have clients who have a need for what you do.
Yeah.
Or like the nail tech. The nail tech may not have clients that are care about their eyebrows. I don't give a shit about mine, so I don't.
Yeah.
Right, but
well, maybe even like a barber shop or especially one thing I want to add to my repertoire is scalp micropigmentation. So you use your tattoo gun almost like you're doing eyebrows, but you're putting in little almost dots or hair-like patterns for bald-headed folks, or maybe your hair's thinning, or there's a loss or sparseness somewhere that you want to kind of conceal.
maybe a med spa that does hair removal.
Yeah, med spas for like removal would be a good one. I mean, if they maybe do actually in fact need removal before they see me, like still a good, if they had a botched botched experience somewhere, love to take that on after it's removed, because it's really, you can always add more, you can't take it away. That requires you could do laser removal. That's like typical, but there's actually like another type that's a little less invasive depending on how much removal process you need. Saline is another way to kind of remove some of the permanent makeup. But I'd say a med spa and esthetician would be huge ones.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think doctor clinics so much might kind of partner or anything like that.
Well, they would think, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
I want to get a referral. Like, is it with a network, or they don't think that way?
Yeah, I'm not a prescription rep, so it's not the same kind of trade-off.
No, the hustle's not the same.
Yeah, like hair remove, maybe like, I don't know, even waxing salons. Okay. I mean, kind of similar beauty industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you started in November. You take the class.
Yeah.
Walk our audience through what's next.
So I went to class after Thanksgiving all the way through my birthday. It was a present to myself. But my second to last day of class, I got to take my first live model.
Nice.
So I mostly started out with like family and a couple friends there. So most of my December on my weekends, I would carpool it with my client all the way to Renton, just to have that kind of guidance, and take on, I did like a few different brow techniques. There's powder brows. It has nothing to do with powder like the word implies, but it's more of an airy, soft finish, or even ombre, where it's more like dark to light kind of fadeness there. And then microblading itself with this, I call it an X-Acto knife tool, but it's not nearly that invasive. It's a really small blade-like tool that you make little fine cuts in and then place pigment in there. So a lot of people do like a combination of that and like a powder brow, because they're missing, like, they have sparseness at the fronts of their eyebrows, so they want those hair-like strokes. So
I see.
Yeah, most of December I spent my weekends bringing clients all the way to Renton, and then January 1st I started renting here, and so I've been taking some of those folks as my touch-ups here throughout January too, and I have my first new client on the 28th.
Nice.
This month.
So we've never done it, but walk us through, if we were a first-time client, what that experience is like, how long it takes.
Yeah.
You know, so
actually,
if I volunteer Joe to do it, if I notice some lightning, what would his experience be like? Talk to him.
I already know
Yeah.
it's going to be phenomenal, but
so everyone's different. Some artists have their client come in and do a consultation. I don't prefer to waste someone's time with a whole other appointment. I kind of build it all in one. So, you know, besides our first introduction, kind of expressing what you're looking for before booking your appointment, you know, when folks arrive, we, you know, talk about, hey, like, what's kind of your goal? Like, do you have a favorite eyebrow over the two? We always say that the sisters never twins.
Do most people say, like, show you a cell phone picture? Like, I want this. I want to look like this celebrity.
I actually asked them, I said, do you have a favorite picture of yourself where you just, like, loved your brows at the time? Why did you love them? Like, because do you use makeup? Do you use like a pencil or pomade, or what kind of product do you use? Because that tells me what kind of look or appearance you ultimately want, or what do you struggle with, you know? So we talk about that kind of intro when we first get here, and then, you know, I allow clients to, you know, come with your brows how you normally draw them in, just so I can see, or you can come just, you know, barefaced, however you prefer. And then we, you know, intro talk about what their goals are, what they're lacking, what they'd prefer. And then I start kind of the mapping process. It's free to map your eyebrows. So there's a lot of different techniques out there, but you're measuring. You can use like a pre-inked string. They also make these really attractive eyebrow rulers that you put across the crown of your forehead, and it has, you know, depictions of where, like, your arch of your brow, where the end of it should be. So it's a measuring tool.
Right.
There's this caliper ruler tool that we also can use too, just to line up. So when you're mapping out someone's brows, you're starting at like the cupid's bow of their lip and like finding the center, and then you're using the nose as like a focal point, to starting point to measure. And it's really you're mapping out their natural symmetry of their own face. So everyone's brow is going to look different from one person to the next. Do you want them thicker? Do you want them thin? I've rescued 2 90s brows so far, and I feel really good about them. Because a lot of that over plucking doesn't grow back, and then you're just left with.
And how long does a treatment take typically?
For me, like 2 hours roughly, depending on what we're doing. For the most part, my educator was really impressed that my time was so quick. I mean, she probably gets hers done in like an hour when she's doing them, but
that's just
start to finish, 2 hours, and then I usually leave like 20 minutes between appointments for cleanup and gossip hour, you know.
Pricing. As a new business, how do you put together your pricing?
I got a really comprehensive like education course with a binder and everything of, you know, kind of where you go after class. Like business was a whole focal point of talking about social media or picture editing apps. You know, you don't want to overly edit something, but if lighting is a struggle in your salon place of choice, it does help, you know, kind of brighten it.
You got to show off your finished product.
I mean, yeah.